Today we are back with another Milk Crate Moment story, and today my special guest is Jeanette Lowry, and Jeanette is a residual wealth and well-being coach, and you've been doing this for over 30 years, right?
32, yes.
Woo! Wow. Yay for that. So, Jeanette, this is Milk Crate Moments, right? And I
Mhm.
always start off with what was the Milk Crate moment in your business? It could have been around hiring or firing or staffing or, not enough staffing or whatever, right? What was your Milk Crate moment in your business?
My milk crate moment was when I decided I was building my own business, entrepreneur at home with one young child, almost two, almost on the way, like almost ready to pop. And I had been building this business for 5.5, 6 years. And I was almost at the peak level where the recognition, the money, everything was going to come together. There was a big event coming up, and I had all this stress on me like, am I going to be able to do this? I've got this many more people that I get to inspire, enroll. I have this many more volumes to account for. And young 2-year old running around the house at the time, I was just like, I don't think I can do this. Why am I doing this? I was a competitive gymnast my entire life. So
Wow.
that competitive edge, that competition, that you've got to finish this, you cannot fall off the balance beam now moment hit me. And I ended up in my closet, which at the time, my office was in my bedroom closet at the time. And I found myself curled up in a ball on the floor, just tears rolling down my face,
9 months
bawling.
pregnant, you were on the floor in the closet?
It was about 7 months
Okay.
pregnant, let's just say that.
Okay.
on the floor.
Wow.
And I just thought, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just didn't, I felt exhausted. I felt just beat down, I'd just been going on adrenaline for so long, and that wasn't a healthy place to be.
Right.
But I called my mentor the next day, who had been mentoring me for 5 years. And she was a very successful woman in the business. And she came over to my house. She knew I was desperate. And she said, Jeanette, you've got 2 weeks to go. You can do this. And she looked me in my eye. And I'll never forget this because my eyes were filled with water at the time, with tears. And she said, if you decide you can do this, you will do this. And that's all she said to me. And I drank that in. I just drank that in. And I was like, if I think I can do this, if I believe I can do this, if I know I can do this, I will do this. And that's what it took. And honestly, Jean, for the next 2 weeks of hitting those goals, it just floated. It just flowed. It was, I just know that my God, the heavens, the universe, they opened up because I had asked for it. I
Yeah.
believed it. And I truly, truly wanted it. And it happened.
Oh,
And
I love that story.
yeah. And so that's why I am so passionate about um, giving this gift to other women who they know inside. I knew as a child I would never work for somebody else. My dad was an entrepreneur, my grandfather was. And I knew that residual income was what I wanted for my lifestyle. My dad was an insurance salesperson. He had his own company, and I saw what our lifestyle did as he progressed in his business. So, not working for somebody else and residual income, those were my hot points. This business provided both. And for 20 years, it allowed me to take time off to raise my two kids, just following a divorce as well.
Mm.
And those 20 years, I would never change for anything. And I feel, as I reflect back, I feel like there's so many working women, working moms, professionals out there plugging away at the 9 to 5, exchanging time for money, and they don't have hope that there's anything else out there because they haven't been introduced. So I came out of retirement when COVID hit, Jean, and I said, I have too many skills, talents, I have a lot of wisdom. I hired some coaches, put a program together, and back out at 62. You know, I should be retired now, but I retired for 20 years. I was bored.
Okay.
So my goal is really to help other women see inside themselves, dig back into their past, their history, unravel all that noise going on in their head saying, I can't, you're not worth it, you know, you're not worthy, you'll never do that, and climb out of that and reinvent themselves into the woman they know they are meant to be. Because I believe that women who have a dream planted in their heart as to what they want to do in the world and they haven't achieved that yet, I believe I could be that impetus to help draw them out of that into where they want to be. And I have a step-by-step program to get them there. So
Well, that is wonderful. And it's so funny as I listen to you say, I came out of retirement during COVID when so many small businesses were worried about how they were going to stay in business, right?
it
That
broke my heart.
mine too. And I started a free group right when the lockdown started that I continued for 2 years. And
Awesome.
it was about giving them complimentary strategy every day to help them stay in business.
So
And
great.
it just first of all, it's amazing that we need that in today's world, right?
Mhm.
But you're right,
Mhm.
there's so many people out there who don't who can get tied up in that negative self-talk that we say to
Yes.
ourselves every day. So thank
Yes.
you for sharing that story. So when you were going through that with your when you were pregnant, your mentor helped you get
Mhm.
through that. Tell me what would you say to people who are going through that right now?
Well, I say that I was blessed to have had in my life supportive parents and parents that believed in me. You have to dig and find those people in your life that were influencers, positive influences, and mentors. I had coaches all along my gymnastics career from 5th grade through college. So I was open to coaching, and I knew that these coaches always had my best interest at heart.
Right.
So I tell people, women especially, because I have a heart for getting moms home with their families, look in your past. Who were those mentors that made a difference in your life and planted that seed of greatness, of belief in yourself? That's what you want to start putting back into your head. And then seek out somebody or people, communities who can help you elevate yourself to where you want to be. It's really important. You've got to cut out the chatter, and there's ways to do that. I mean, there's scientific ways to do that, and I address that in my training program. Because if you are trying to drag this, 500-pound weight around your ankle into the future, you've got to get rid of this weight. And
I
this weight is negativity. It's really paradigms that we were born into. I didn't choose my family, but I was born into their beliefs, their habits, their patterns. And I can choose now as an adult to take them or leave them.
right.
But you have to have those tools.
Love it. Now, I asked you if you would have something that you would offer the audience
Mhm.
today. What would you like to um, offer the audience that they could get from you?
I think the easiest thing to do is go to my website. It's Jeanette Lowry, my name.com. And there's some free resources in there. There's some master classes about paradigm shifting. If you're looking into health or weight management, there's a master class for that. There's one for making residual income. What's the difference between linear and leveraged income, etc. So go to my resource tab and then book a call with me. I do free gap analysis calls. DM me, I'll send you a link, and we'll see where you're at. We'll see if I could be the catalyst to help you get to where you want to go.
Great, great. All right, Jeanette, thank you so much. This was great information. Thank you. And your great moment. I mean, phew, that's amazing. So I appreciate the fact that you're here today. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you would like? Oh, I know what I always like to ask. What's some business advice you would give to someone? Just business advice.
Business advice, I would say, if you are working for somebody else, really, you've got to have multiple income streams today. There's no security in working for somebody else, period. And I think we know that. Almost 50 million people left the workforce when COVID hit. Look for a business that you can leverage yourself if you want big money, if you want wealth generation. Otherwise, you're going to go into a small business alone, be a solopreneur, and you're going to have all the headaches of a big business. So align with a brand partnership that takes care of all that heavy lifting for you. And you then can just go out and promote, be the PR portion of the business.
That's great advice. Jeanette, thank you for being here today. I wish you well, and I'm sure we will talk
Thank
again.
you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jean, so